Alright, so as you guys have seen my pictures probably, well, Crosby Racing Garage hasn't. I ordered a Jegs bump button because I'm putting the bump box in the S10. So I was just going to show you guys real quick how this looks. I already got the steering wheel pulled off the quick release. This is just a Jegs quick release hub and a Grant steering wheel. So basically you just unbolt the 5-bolt, center this back up behind it, in between it and the mount, and then you got your bump buttons. Real quick and simple. Let's see if I got a Allen here to fit this. First try, guys. So I use the straight end just to break it loose. These aren't super tight. Tapered seat. Actually, some of these might even be able to be tighter, but just take it off. Now the key on this whole thing is the hub. This hub only goes on, it's only going to line up right one time. So what I'm going to do on mine, just make a little scratch. And it's still in the black, but it just lets me know that's the top. Then I'll just take all these out real quick, show you guys what this bracket looks like mounted. Now the only one downside I can see to this is it has to mount. If you mount it between the plate and the quick release, the problem is going to be this register. The wheel won't have anything to center it. I'd much rather have the wheel have something to center it. I'm not worried about what the button does. So in this case, with the way this hub is, you wouldn't want to take this off the hub, right? And then go plate, wheel. Although that looks better. It looks way better. But then the wheel don't have nothing to center it. So it's going to be wheel, line up the hub, then your plate, and then you just take your screws, tighten them down. These are not tapered, so you have to use the new screws that Jegs gives you in the kit. There's tapered screws, those aren't going to work. Those long flat screws are going to be the screws you're going to end up using with a washer. So go in here, you're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Allen head screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flat washers, and some lock washers are in here. These are all stainless hardware. You don't need these. You don't have a tapered anymore. So basically, you're going to go lock washer, washer, just like everything. Center this up to the hub. And guys, I didn't let this slide, so my alignment's already set. All you got to do is keep your bracket where it goes. And I've already see one thing I don't like. And that's with the dual washers. This bolt needs to be longer. See how it's already touching. I don't know if I like that. But this screws right in. It's engaging a little bit. We'll see what it looks like when I tighten it. So for the most part, I'm only using lock washers. I'm not using seated washers because it makes the bolts too short. Something you'll have to look at on your own setup. If you got the same wheel as me and the same lock, then I'm sure your setup's going to be the same. So just run the lock washer, not the flat washer. Take this one back out. Thread engagement's going to be the key here. You don't want to freaking drive around and this thing not be all the way through. We'll take our Allen. Of course, Jegs is a different size Allen. Next size larger. So just go semi-cross pattern, kind of go around like a star. All we're trying to do is get the wheel to seat on the seat all the way. Plus, if this bracket needs to bend or do anything like that, once they're all started, I'll flip the wrench. And this isn't the right size wrench either. It's still a little bit too small. I'd be surprised if it wasn't metric, knowing how they do stuff. Nope, it's not. So just take your straight side. Go on a star. This is the normal Grant racing wheel. Okay. Now we'll get one last little torque on these. I mean, they're not, you definitely can over torque these real easy. So be careful. Just a good snug. You'll know when it's snug. All right. So there they are. Quick and simple. Now, I do run a stock steering setup. Eventually, I would like to go to a race style. But that's it. Now I'll be able to hit bump, hold this down for the brake, and that's my old brake button over there on the floor. I can take that out, and I got to take it out anyway because I'm going to be wiring in that simple stage bump box. And guys, this thing's a street car. Like, full interior, sound deadener, like torn up original headliner, a light. You probably can't see that because it's so dark. Let me get you some light. It's got subwoofer, MB Court components in the doors, Sony amplified radio, MB Court 6.5s, and then it's got back here, It's got, where's it? I don't know how you can see it, but kicker amp. Maybe you can see it that way. But 6x9s in the back. Amplifier. 6x9s. And it's got the old OG ultralights. Tons of gauges, like an airplane cockpit. Like a true street car. I need to get another Kirky for that other side, but I couldn't justify spending that kind of money. I do want to eventually because they are super comfortable. Well, guys, I think that's it. The engine is all back together. Fixed the valve. I got to redo, not redo, but I need to clean up the carburetor. Get it fresh E85 in the tank, clean the tank, get ready to start. I got that new Ignite E85 and Ignite E85 red for this, so I'm gonna run on red at the track just to try it out. The pump E85 down here is just so inconsistent. I can't trust it, guys. It's always full of water. It's always like 50% or 90%. There's no consistency in it, and without that consistency I can't have a good safe tune because I don't have anything to adjust air fuel. So if the car wants more air fuel, I have to give it to it. If it wants less, I have to give it to it. And if there's a change in the fuel that's dramatic, like 50%, there's no way. EFI guys might have a sensor that can adjust for that, but I don't have that. And then I got to put the tubes in the slicks because they keep going flat. I do love the way it sits though, like it's pancaked on the ground. I wish it was that low. If I had a big tire and sit that low, it'd be so cool. But I'm gonna air them back up and get to work. I gotta pull the trans out, do the aluminum drum, billet forward hub, and something else. I can't remember what the other thing was, but I gotta clean all this crap up. Man, I got so much stuff scattered all over the place. We started cleaning the garage, and then Garrett's motor started having problems, so we tore it all down and got it done. I got parts coming in for the new motor for the Camaro, new lifter trays. We've got new lifters. All the turbo stuff is here. Fuel system stuff is here. Not all the fuel system stuff. I don't have any of the fuel lines or anything like that. But she will be turboed this year, and she still will be my daily driver. My idea is to have it like low boost, 5 pounds, 6 pounds, 5.3 with forged pistons and a little compression ought to be able to make 550, 600 wheel. More than plenty for a daily driver. And then I'll be able to turn it up. The VS Racing Turbo dual V-band housing is what I went with, just for the simplicity of a V-band flange. But had I known that it was a .96 AR, that doesn't bother me. It's small for 5.3. But that didn't really bother me. What's killing me is the fact that that dual V-band is a 2.5 inch inlet, and the V-band flange they have doesn't accept a 3-inch pipe, so you can't run a 3-inch and then fit it. So either I would have to run a reducer to go from 3 to 2.5, or I'd have to run different housing. So I'm actually going to call VS Racing. They were at the track in Bradenton this weekend for the GTR World Cup, I think. I'm going to get a hold of them and see if I can just buy outright a 125 AR T4 housing, and then I can run a 3-inch pipe straight into the T4 housing. It's not a big deal. The only difference really, the dual V-band housing is a true 3-inch downpipe, which is kind of what I wanted because it'll match the stock exhaust, and I can run my exhaust setup to the SLP loudmouth. But then I'm like, you know, my S10 had a 5-inch exhaust, and Garrett's Blazer had a 4-inch exhaust, still does, and they're super quiet. They're actually quieter than my car with the SLP NA. So what I'm thinking now is get that T4 125 housing. That is a true 4-inch downpipe flange. So what I was thinking is I'll take the 4-inch, come off the turbo, you know, turbo be sitting in here behind the radiator, just come down. I'm not coming out the actual fender because this is a street car, but what I'm thinking is making a turn down that's kind of ovaled and under the bumper where you can't see the exhaust at all. I just don't know. I guess I need to look at a lot of YouTube videos and see how loud that might be. Garrett's really isn't loud. Like, we can have conversations at normal, talking normal with 4-inch exhaust. Well, his has 3.5-inch all the way out, but if I had to do that, I could neck this one down to 3.5, but it will make it a little quieter. But the pipe is so short, it ain't gonna be much of a difference. And I've heard plenty of fender dumped Camaros, but they always seem like they're really loud. So I don't know. That's where I'm kind of torn between. But I wanted to show you guys my box buttons. Quick and simple, plus give you a little update for what I'm about to do. There'll be a second video. I'm not going to show you guys pulling the transmission. I have to lay on the ground. I don't have a lift. Nothing real exciting there. You've seen people pull transmissions. So I'm going to pull it out, and then whenever I start pulling it apart, I'll show you guys the upgraded parts and show you the differences between them and the stock ones. And then we'll just keep assembling. So stay tuned. There's going to be a little bit of a break between videos because I do have to clean up this pigsty some. Thanks for watching, guys. I got to get my parts collector back into a working vehicle. There's a lot of stuff on this truck. Thanks for watching.